everybody. Welcome to 500 Open Tabs. I'm Hannah Hillam.
And I'm Kava Taharian, and if you can't tell from Hannah's nostril flare, we're doing great.
So good. Look, these naturally look at my nostrils. Whoa!
You can't help but see mine. That's in our family. The secret tell in my family, because we all have big noses, is like when someone flares their nostrils when they're like apologizing or saying something like to be like, yes, I will do this. That's our tell of knowing like I hate you and I want you to die. So my nostrils are flaring. Yeah. So when you flared your nostrils, I was like, oh no, Hannah's really angry at having to record this show right now. She's just like the rest of my family.
I love doing this show. Don't you dare. No,
Me
now
too.
I know. There it is. I haven't been doing my job because I don't think you've ever flared your nostrils at me. So I must be doing something wrong. I need to make you hate me. Good intro. So how are you?
I'm
so
great.
Good.
As of the time of the release of this episode, we are getting ready to be in Portland. We're flying out tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited. I've never been to Portland. I've never done Rose City Comic Con. Both things are going to be excellent, I presume.
Yeah.
Quick update.
I've been
We're going
to
be
Portland,
at table...
but I've never done Rose City. Oh yeah, table.
Oh, I was going to say up front, just so we don't forget, table D01. So we're right at the entrance, I think on the left side when you come in. So we're right there. Hopefully you'll see us. If you don't see us right at the entrance when you come in, then I suggest getting your vision checked. Or if you're a person who's visually impaired, ask your friend that you're with to find D01. And if
you don't have friends, just wander until you can find us, until you hear our voices. Okay.
Podcast. That's how we're going to be sounding over there.
That's all we're going to say, the word podcast.
Yeah. Podcast.
At a Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
Are there podcast conventions?
Yes, of course there are. There's a convention for anything. Yeah,
Imagine
I know. Insufferable.
How much people talk. I never want to go to one. Oh, no.
Neither do I. If you know a podcast convention, please, and you'll give us
Invite
a table
us.
For free. We'll come.
We'll do it.
I don't care. I'll podcast
kidding.
From the table. Yeah, exactly.
So will I.
It's fine. Coming in with a great introduction to Rose City's Comic-Con, talking about going to a different convention that may or may not exist. Anyway, D01 in Artist Alley. Mm-hmm. We will be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this beautiful weekend of the first weekend of September. Come see us. I'll have a couple of new things. I'll also have originals. I'll have mugs. I'll have pins. I'll have books. You, Hannah, will have, I don't know, dirt.
I've got a new, some dirt.
Snowballs.
Piles of dirt.
Trash.
Little Ziploc bags full of snow, which is then melted into dirty water. So come get your dirty water and your bags of dirt. And what else? Toenails? I'll try to have as many gross things as possible. All right?
Toenails.
No, I don't know. Look, what else is in dirt? Worms? Come get your worms. Big and juicy.
Worms.
Straight from my brain.
Straight from your toenails.
RFK. No, it's brainworms.
Okay.
So I'm going to be selling, I have a new zine that's out called Idea Land, and I've got some new stickers and, of course, originals and all those little magnets I made. Yeah.
Technically, everything I have for Oregon, for Rose City, will be new because I've never exhibited there before. So every single thing that you come see will be the first time you've ever seen it, which is exciting. I keep telling everybody that we're doing we've done the tour, like the big cities. And now it's like when bands do tours where they're like, okay, they got to go to the secondary markets where that's how you really push the album. I'm like, that's what we're doing with our tour.
Did you just call Portland a secondary market?
No. I mean, in terms of like, it's like New York, LA, San Francisco.
Right. San Francisco. We haven't done that one yet.
San Francisco doesn't have a proper big Comic-Con in the same way, unfortunately.
No, they have a fan X and it blows.
I've never been.
Yeah, it's bad. I made $10.
Wow. By the way, just so people don't get mad, I don't mean secondary in terms of like it's not good. It's just the amount of people that are there. Yes. Well, people are sensitive. You don't want them to think that I'm shitting on their hometown or something. It has to do with like how much population is in the area specifically is what it comes down to.
We can cut all of it.
We should just cut the whole episode. Let's just quit. I think that's it. This has been the last episode of 500 Open Tabs. We made it to 85. Thank you.
Pretty good.
By the way, at this point, I believe, let me double check if I'm not mistaken, I've done more episodes of this show than I did of my previous podcast.
Really?
Yeah, I think Musical
Splaining, huh?
Musical Splaining got to episode 81.
Whoa!
So I've now surpassed it. This is a milestone for me, unfortunately for everybody listening. Yeah, well, we didn't do it every week. That's why.
I know. That's impressive, dude.
Thank you.
That's, I mean,
there are now 160 episodes plus of me talking of stuff. It's insane.
Of you talking, half of them yelling.
Basically all of them yelling. Somebody wrote in, I can't remember if there was in an email or they wrote it in the Discord or something, but someone was like, I miss Kaveh being angry all the time. And I'm like, you know who doesn't miss that? Me.
Your wife, your family and friends.
Also, let's be clear. I'm still mad all the time, just not about having to watch musicals specifically. So don't worry. Plenty of anger. Still mad about everything. The world's terrible.
You really took one for the team watching all those musicals.
For quite a long time.
So should we get going?
Okay. So my tab today concerns an obsession that realistically no one under the age of 45 has any experience with. And yet, a 2021 report estimates that the worth of this industry to be more than $115 billion.
What?
Today's tab is also, and this is true, indirectly. What do you think it's responsible for?
What?
Take a guess.
I don't know. 9/11?
That's correct.
Are you kidding? Did I guess correctly? That was seriously the first thing that popped into my head.
I knew it would be.
9/11. Why wouldn't?
Indirectly. Hannah, this is a tab that I know that this tab is going to trigger a lot of strong emotions in you today, so get ready. But to be fair, I am on your side with this one, okay?
Oh, no. What are you leading me into?
I am going to be talking about the history of America's obsession with lawns.
Being the victim? This is near and dear to my heart. I can't wait to just ruin Britain because that is it. It's all their fault. Okay. I hate lawns. Sorry, I'll be quiet.
No, go ahead. Start us off. Set the scene.
I think lawns are horrible, and if we wanted to be in Britain, we should have just gone back to Britain instead of forcing the entire U.S. to look like it. Or you want rolling hills? Go back to your little manor estates or whatever. Ugh. Lawns don't belong here. They suck grass up and they're ugly. Mm-hmm. Nothing tells me more about somebody than a perfect lawn. I don't want to be friends with them if they have a perfect lawn. I'm like, oh, you're not for me. Go on. That's my whole thing on lawns.
Your whole take. I know that it's been the bane of your existence as of late as well.
Yeah.
As you mentioned on the show.
Lawn. I don't have a lawn, but everyone calls the city on me because my dirt looks bad. It's fine.
Dirt shaming.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to talk about American lawns, like you said, first we must talk about your absolute favorite people in the world, the English.
English, yeah.
England, as Great Britain in general, all of it. So beginning in the 17th century, European manor houses.
Don't love them all together.
You love all of them. That's all I'm saying.
I do. I genuinely do. I feel a tie to it. Okay, go on.
Anyway. Beginning in the 17th century, European manor houses first began the practice of expansive lawns. There, the aristocracy could express their control over nature and how rich they were, and and to show the stark contrast between their huge swaths of land and their tiny, tiny, tiny micro penises.
Ugh.
Naturally, these lawns required an insane amount of physical labor to maintain. Because remember, this is centuries before John Deere. So you got to pay a lot of people, like basically no money to maintain this. Yeah.
Oh, you're just going to give them a
shit
house.
Looking pristine. But, yeah, right. Or have them live in the garden. No, but you did the garden episode.
Hermits.
Garden hermits. But this is straight up just lawns. This isn't garden hermits. This is different.
The groundskeepers spend all day keeping grounds.
Yep. And sometimes they also brought in grazing animals like sheep to keep their lawns at an aesthetically pleasing length. And that was the whole point of the flex. This was in contrast to a garden, which was like colorful and filled with life. This shit was just like, look how trim this grass is and how empty everything is. Just like my soul.
Hate it.
I'm rich.
Hate it. Yeah, dude, okay, I'm going to let you talk. I hate lawns so much. I can't hold it in. Did you know how much I hated lawns already?
Yes, that's why I decided to like really lean into this tab, because I thought you'd get a good reaction.
Ruining the world. If I see a lawn again, get a life, get a hobby.
If I see a lawn again, you're not going to be able to avoid it.
Dude, I have to go on walks, and I'm like, why this is here? We are in the Mediterranean climate, and we have lawns when you could have like beautiful bushes and flowers and everything. Why do you have lawns? Get over it. You're not even on the lawn. You're just sitting there to look like a status symbol. What are you, English? Nope, you're American.
I'll get into all of that.
Continue.
So when your people left on the Mayflower to come to America, they were met with a totally different landscape.
I hate that I had someone on there. It's annoying. He did fall in.
Mayflower, I'm on the Mayflower. Anyway, when your people did that, when your ancestor swam from the middle of the Atlantic Ocean to the new world,
yeah, he went out in a storm like an idiot and should have died, but he fell in, and they're like, "Let's get him back.
Let's get him back and bring him." Glad they did.
When they came here, when my ancestors came here and started ruining a different country,
Yeah, then when they got here, the landscape was very different because it had already been greatly altered by Native Americans for the purposes of hunting and fishing. And in New England, the grasses were mostly annuals like broom straw, wild rye, marsh grass, and they had a lower nutritional value than that of the grasses of northwestern Europe. And
I love wild rye. We just planted some.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you, taking it back. I like it. And so when the settlers let all their cattle and sheep and all that shit loose, these native grasses disappeared because they just ate everything. And then a bunch of animals died following those first winters from starvation or from eating like just random poisonous plants because they were desperate. And suffice it to say, this was not going to work for the colonizers because livestock was going to be, it's clutch. It's very important for them surviving in the New World. And you can't just like, what are you going to do? Adapt to your surroundings? That's crazy talk.
No way. You're going to force nature to bend to you and your culture.
Yes. Not just nature, but other people as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, of course.
All of it. Yeah. It needs to succumb to me. And so they started importing grass and clover seeds from back home. But at the ports, the dump site for ships got mixed up with a bunch of other stuff like weeds from being in contact with shit, like actual shit, like manure.
Oh, yeah.
And by 1672, 22 European species of weeds had taken up residence around Massachusetts Bay.
Jeez.
So Guinea grass and Bermuda grass from Africa spread throughout the South. And Kentucky bluegrass, which despite its name, hailed from Europe and Middle East, spread through the Appalachian Mountains and Midwest. That's right. The number one Boeing sexual boy boss of American grasses isn't even from this country. It's an immigrant.
A whole groups of people named themselves after that grass. Bluegrass?
Kentucky bluegrass.
Just You wanted me to get enraged today. Great. You've done it.
Listen. Yeah, you hear that, Ice? Time for you to go kidnap Kentucky bluegrass and send it to like a secret prison somewhere because it's not from this country, quote unquote.
Or something.
In France, yeah.
Okay, here's another thing I'm going to yell about for a minute, and I'm going to do it calmly
ahead.
Because I want to keep my cool. Before the aristocrats in the 1600s came in and started cutting down all the forests in England, that entire island was covered in forest and many different plants. So they didn't just ruin this country, they ruined their own.
Yeah, no, they imported the ruining to every other country that they went to specifically.
Exactly. They killed all their native animals. They killed all of their native plants. They at the king's orders, those rolling hills should be covered in forests, and they're not. And they're trying to rewild it right now, which means they're bringing back like certain like wolves and foxes and boars.
Yeah, anyway, we talked about this on, I don't remember when, a long time ago on some episode. I do remember you talking about rewilding. Maybe it was wolves. Was it the Peter Stump episode? Maybe.
Yeah, I think it was. Well, it just don't down with monarchs. Okay,
I agree.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Is the wealthy always? Screw them.
Down with monarchs. Anyway, so in the West, grasses that originated in the Mediterranean took root as Spanish soldiers and missionaries settled there. In California and stuff. Obviously, the climate's very different. And then, after all that, the great American insecurity really began to flourish because visitors from Europe would come to America and then they'd go home and they'd clown on America for having a bunch of like shitty dirt yards with like chickens everywhere. And also they put like ranch dressing on everything and they leaned on things. They were like,
oh yeah,
Americans are just like trashy and terrible and basically like all the upper crust Yankees were like, oh hell no, we're sophisticated as shit and we got to nip that in the bud. We're not having any of it.
That's the most insecure thing I've ever heard.
This whole thing is about insecurity. We just wanted everyone
to like us?
Not just to like us, but to think that because we're a new country that we're sophisticated and cool and just as important as the rest of you.
Great. A lot of things make sense right now.
Yeah. And American diplomats and like rich people who would go to Europe, they would come back from Europe with what they would call lawn envy.
Lawn envy?
Uh-huh.
Is that what they're calling it now?
Yeah, they'd forgotten how fresh and fly all those lawns watered with Marmite looked like. Beautiful. You know who the biggest perpetrators of this were?
The Founding Fathers?
Jefferson and Washington, they were super butthurt.
Jefferson's such a little...
Even George Washington himself, they were like, oh. So they had to flex even harder about their lawns.
We hate the country that wants to have better lawns. We want to, what is it called? We want independence from the country we love so much. Like, what is this? You want to be English and you want their lawns? I thought you wanted to be America. I thought you wanted to be independent. Dump tea in the harbor. Dump lawns in the harbor.
Yeah, dump lawns in the harbor. I love it. So soon, lawns began to appear on the landscape of America's grand homes, including none other than the White House itself, the whitest of all houses.
I've talked about how if it were truly based on actual Roman architecture, it'd be like painted in garish colors because that's what they used to do.
I don't know. You said Roman and I checked out.
I know.
But I'm sure you did say that at some point.
The Romans used to paint all their stuff in like bright, horrible little colors.
I do know that, about the statues and stuff in particular. And then it's worn off.
Same with the buildings.
God, it just looked like Vegas, basically. Vegas probably looks closer to Rome now than...
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's stop interrupting you. Please continue.
No, it's okay. Anyway, so the White House has got it, and suddenly American lawns, they're bigger, they're better. They got hot dogs and fireworks and school shootings. USA! USA! But how did they get so crazy so fast?
How?
Literal slavery, of course. Don't forget.
Sorry, I forgot somehow for a split second.
Yeah.
Of course.
Lawns just keep getting better, you guys. Look at your face. If you're not watching the YouTube version, this face says it all.
I'm trying to calm myself down. By the way, I think I have this tab open about.
Do you really? About lawns?
The part about how it led to 9/11. Go on.
Okay. Anyway, so basically it's gross, right? They're literally using slave labor to maintain these lawns because they're for the same thing. They just imported the shitty practice of the English over to the Americas. And they're almost exclusively they basically are exclusively for the upper classes until after the Civil War, when the suburbs begin to expand. And then a couple of key people come into play.
Well, don't forget the suburbs expanded because they didn't want to be near black people.
That's bigger in terms of
that's later. That's a little later.
That's later is when that really becomes a thing.
Right.
But I think it's also like, well, we're not civil warring anymore, and now we can focus on expanding and blah blah blah.
Right.
Construction, etc.
Sorry, go on.
So a couple of key people are very important at this point. So first up is Frederick Law Olmsted, who I'm sure you probably know. He's often celebrated as the father of American landscape architecture.
I don't know him.
He's the guy who designed Central Park in New York City, and he came up with the designs for planned communities of Riverside, Illinois. These quickly became the gold standard for public and private spaces alike. And Freddie, he had a vision for the burbs, which was kind of, to oversimplify it, was equal parts natural beauty and structured design. And he had a little bit of a different take. He thought gardens and parks should be accessible and enjoyed by all, not just the wealthy. Not just like AI tech bros. Everybody should be able to enjoy a park. It shouldn't be like this classist thing. This radical idea suddenly turned the American lawn into a tool kind of for like democracy and equality. It became like a symbol of that.
Oh, interesting.
And in 1870, Freddie's ideas were yes-anded by a guy named Frank J. Scott. Have you heard of him?
No.
So Frankie Friday, he wrote an extremely popular book titled The Art of Beautifying Suburban Home Grounds. Have you heard of this book?
No.
You can do it's from the 1800s, so the whole thing's available online. And in it,
is that why you thought I heard about it?
I mean, it seems like a random book that you would have come across at some point.
Yeah, that could be at my parents' house or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or that like your parents randomly have. If you want to look it up real quick. So this shit is it's like a manual. It's called The Art of Beautifying Suburban Home Grounds.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's quite long. So I didn't read it obviously, but I just sort of
not gonna read that
through it. No.
Oh, it's all based on Victorian gardens.
Yep. So in this book, Franks and Beans articulated a vision for the American lawn that emphasized openness and community over exclusion and division. Quote, "With our open-faced front lawns, we declare our like-mindedness to our neighbors and our distance from the English, who surround their yards with inhospitable brick walls." So basically, he's like, if you're an American, you should have nothing to hide. And in fact, you should be showing everything you have to your neighbors and your government. And also you should send your 23andMe, like your literal DNA, and to allow social media companies to track your every move all the time. That's what being an American is.
Also, they can tell you that you're British.
Yes, exactly. Furthermore, we're white people here, okay? This is strictly a tit lawn country. We don't like ass lawns, which apparently the English are a bunch of ass men keeping their gardens in the back.
Perfect. I'm never going to look at it the same way again.
Listen, I'm just going to say, public service announcement. When are we all going to learn to stop pitting tits and ass against each other? It's horrible.
They're both great.
Let's celebrate both, you Cro-Magnons.
Both of them are good.
It's not tits or ass. It's tits and ass.
Tits and ass. Or neither tits nor ass. It's fine.
Yes.
But stop.
Don't prioritize one. Yeah, it's gross.
I'm a
this
both
guy,
kind
he really
of gal.
did it. Yeah. Frank J. Scott, he's all garden tit. He's all lawn tits. He's not into the ass tits. Ass tits.
Ass tits. I'd love to draw that.
Ass lawn. That's what I was trying to say.
It's
but
like when I drew arm tits.
Arm tits, yes.
Do you still have that drawing? Or did I sell it? I sold it.
Someone bought it.
I sold it. I was drawing. I gave it to you. Then someone's like, "Can I buy that picture of a guy with tits in his armpits? Arm tits." Okay, we're gonna have to draw ass tits.
We're gonna have to do it again. Ass tits, just tits with, butt cheeks with nipples on them.
Nipples.
I think is what it would end up being. Yeah. Anyway, this is great. Things are going great, guys. We're talking about lawns. Anyway.
I'm gonna get a lawn job. Meaning like a boob job, not like a.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought the lawn was going to jerk you off somehow, or jerking yourself off using the lawn. Yeah.
Look, through God, all things are possible.
All things are possible. Just rub your member on the grass. I don't know.
Don't call it a member.
This has gone certainly.
Let's move on. This is table energy.
Yeah.
This is degenerate table energy.
Ass tits.
Okay.
So moving on, the sprinkler gets a patent in 1871, one that can connect to a garden hose. I'm sorry, just take your mind out of the gutter. We're just going to keep going forward. Just going everywhere, all over the lawn. No way. Put your mind back into the church.
That sprinkler is not edge assisting.
No, not at all. It's never edging.
Put me in the ground.
End me. So after this, the lawn care industry is essentially born, and then now there's real money to be made. And that's when the bullshit of advertising starts to come in. Because people start printing these trade cards of how cool and rich and American you can be by buying like lawnmowers, which had recently made their way to the United States. And you've probably seen some of this kind of stuff, I'm sure. But I'll send you a couple pictures of them.
Okay. I've seen a bunch of like ads in old National Geographics for lawn care.
So this is...
Oh, yeah. Oh, hold up. How come... Okay.
So I might do a tab on this later, but essentially it's like the birth of... It was like half... They didn't used to print ads in magazines as much as... It was like half business card, half ad.
Oh, interesting. Look at that. Those are kind of cool.
They're really cool.
I will say, I don't know why I had to use one of those growing up, by the way. Our lawnmower was just one of those push ones.
Of course you had one from the 1800s. I'm not surprised. Was it lead?
Probably. Wow, look at all this. I can help Mama. This ringer turned so easy. Oh, that's not a lawnmower. Excelsior side wheel mower. And she's just like, look at me. Just mowing my lawn.
This basically is like the 1800s equivalent of like a Kardashian mowing their own lawn, which is like, of course, these people are never going to touch anything or do blue collar work like this.
Look how rich she is. She's mowing her own gigantic lawn.
So if you look at the other one I sent you with the compilation of all of them, there's people playing, croquet in the background?
Croquet.
In the bottom left, clipper mower.
Uh-huh. And it looks like they're putting their 15-year-old daughter to work mowing the lawn.
Yeah. Which, of course, she's never worked in her life, I'm sure.
Well, the reason the reason they're putting women in here is they're pretty much saying it's easy enough for a woman to use. So,
that's probably true. Anyway, so these ads start making it like a whole thing. And, Don Draper, he's just yucking it up all the way to the bank, whoever the equivalent of that Mad Men was in the 1800s.
There's so many. There's so many of them.
And this keeps going. And soon enough, what do we have? Cars and trains.
Oh, right.
Cars and trains come. That becomes a thing. Suddenly, if you're on a train, you're just dreaming of all that hot, sexy soldiery. You don't want to just be looking out like a bunch of windows and shit.
No.
Yeah. Show them lawns off.
You gotta see those soldiers.
Yeah.
You're the Shah and you're on a train. You don't want to see garbage. You want to see soldiers and grass.
Yes. So the pressure was on to beautify your lawns. Yes, lest ye fall behind the Joneses.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Houses even began to be intentionally built facing the rail line to enhance the scenery and experience for commuters.
Oh, what? They still do that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
A lot of that comes from the idea of like, it's like trains or like highways or whatever. Or car, whatever.
And now the exhaust can poison you and ruin your brain. It's great.
Yes.
Perfect.
It's a big part of it. But so it's like, it just becomes this weird, like, not voyeur, what's the opposite of exhibitionist thing.
Yeah. Showing off.
So it's showing off, and then not just to your neighbors, but also to literal strangers driving by who have no idea who you are. But it's like, it becomes so focused on the commuter and the person on the train or the people in the car that like it completely shifts the way that houses are built to a large extent. And of course, as you were saying earlier, the idea of lawns gets hypercharged after World War II. There's white flight. And then famously, the federal government financed low-cost mortgages for returning soldiers who spent all their time banging, which of course yielded the baby boomers who ironically want us all to get off their lawns and will never die.
Yeah.
And
why won't they die?
They won't die. And lawns, they continue to just be a complete and total menace. The non-native grass saturated in herbicides pollutes our air and water, a complete lack of important biodiversity, invasive plants, fascist HOAs. I mean, the list is endless. And I'm going to give you some stats about this. I love this one from Colombia. Quote, today, American lawns occupy some 30 to 40 million acres of land. Lawnmowers to maintain them account for some 5% of the nation's air pollution, probably more in urban areas. Each year, more than 17 million gallons of fuel are spilled during the refilling of lawn and garden equipment.
No.
More than the oil that the Exxon Valdez spilled.
Every year?
Going. Yeah. Homeowners spend billions of dollars and typically use 10 times the amount of pesticide and fertilizers per acre on their lawns as farmers do on crops. The majority of these chemicals are wasted due to inappropriate timing and application. These chemicals then run off and become a major source of water pollution. Last but not least, 30 to 60% of urban freshwater is used on lawns. Most of this water is also wasted due to poor timing and application. And that is not even talking about everyone's favorite absolute waste of elitist space. You want to take a guess as to what that is?
Golf courses.
That's right. Golf courses.
I hate them. Have them where there's grass naturally, like where they were invented. Scotland. Have it just go back. Just do it. Don't play golf unless you're in Scotland. That's my hot take.
My favorite is the George Carlin hot take where he's like, just give them to the homeless. Let the homeless live there.
Seriously.
Build houses on golf courses.
Seriously. They're a waste of space.
Absolutely.
And time and money.
And they're elitist and they're racist and they're not national parks, which are cool and protected for everybody.
Exactly.
Ken Burns should do a documentary. Should be like U.S. golf courses, America's worst idea.
Absolute. Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of bad ideas we've had. That's up there.
Okay, so here's a report from the actual USGA itself, the U.S. Golf Association. Quote, from 2003 to 2005, the average water use for golf course irrigation in the U.S. was estimated to be 2.08 billion gallons of water per day for golf course irrigation, according to the U.S. Geological Survey estimated use of water in the United States in 2000 report.
What? That's devastating.
This whole thing is awful. So recently in California, I remember because, we've had a series of droughts. So that was a big thing. And then I remember also hearing about the push to make leaf blowers more green. Have you heard about this?
I have, yeah. Because they emit so much pollution. It's crazy.
Yeah. And I was curious about how that worked because Lord knows you hear those motors running all the time. They're running constantly, all day long. That's all. In fact, if you were to do a soundscape of California, it would just be like leaf blowers.
Leaf blowers, 100%.
And ocean, yeah. So according to...
And helicopters.
And helicopters. That's more specifically Los Angeles, but yeah.
Yeah.
So according to CaliforniaLocal.com, leaf blowers pour such a large quantity of harmful gases into the atmosphere that you'd have to drive a Toyota Camry from Los Angeles to Denver, approximately 1,100 miles, to create as much pollution as a commercial leaf blower generates in just a single hour of use.
No, you are ruining my life. I hate this so much. This is the worst. Guys, we gotta stop.
So I went on Reddit because I was trying to understand how I was like, how does that work? Because a car engine is obviously much larger than a leaf blower. Yeah. And I got a couple of, there seems to be consensus. And I patched together some, different responses. So essentially, this is not my explanation of it, but it says a gas-powered leaf blower has an engine that mixes the gasoline and the oil together. It ends up burning both the gas and the oil. Car engines don't intentionally burn oil. They have what is called a two-stroke engine. It's a design that allows the engine to save size and weight. Instead of having a reservoir of lubricating oil inside the engine, like most larger engines in cars and trucks, the lubricating oil is mixed into the gasoline and intentionally burned as the engine runs, creating significantly more noxious exhaust coming out of the muffler. So basically, a car is big. There's a bunch of extra parts. You have your catalytic converter, and there's been a lot of pressure on cars to be much more not only gas efficient, but to have like the less pollutants. All of this industry and regulation over the course of 30, 40 years. It's still not great. We still shouldn't have cars, but like even a tiny little leaf blower compared to a car is like a billion times worse, which is crazy. Which is why it always smells like a gas station when a leaf blower comes along.
Yeah, I hate it. And it's loud and horrible, and it interrupts podcasting, which is by far the most
the biggest offense. Yeah, I agree.
Look, I'll take dirty air as long as I can podcast.
Anyway, so I just thought that was crazy that like all the, I mean, it's nice that there's like an industry that it can employ people or whatever, and there's money to be made, but still it's like, it's terrible for the environment, and it's just awful and loud, and lawns are terrible. But of course,
and it's pointless.
It's pointless. For my grand finale, the clickbait opening of how this indirectly led to 9/11. You ready?
Yes. Egyptian
writer and educator Sayed Kitab spent the better half of 1949 in Greeley, Colorado, studying at the University of Northern Colorado.
Again with Greeley? That's where they found the mechanical Jesus in that lady's attic.
Oh, shit, you're right. I was wondering why Greeley sounded familiar. I completely forgot.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff happening in Greeley. By the way,
on that one, I never even did a follow-up. They found out that's probably not even the real one. So it's like a replica.
Interesting.
Go on.
Anyway, in 1949, he's there. And what he saw prompted him to condemn America as soulless, a materialistic place that no Muslim should aspire to live in.
Oh, my goodness.
When he went back to Egypt, he became the mouthpiece for the then nascent Muslim Brotherhood as head of propaganda and eventually in a more leadership position. So one of the things that he saw was that he's like, Americans are insane and they're obsessed with their lawns. And I do not understand their obsession with lawns. Obviously, he said a bunch of other terrible shit, but lawns were one thing that specifically he stated, which I thought was insane.
Yeah. Well, that made a huge impression on him.
I mean, everything else did as well because he's a horrible person. But lawns were one of the things that he made us sure to point out. So Kitab's writings would later become the theoretical basis for many radical Islamic groups of today. Among his avid readers and followers was a man named Ayman al-Zawahiri, who, if you remember your history, was second in command of al-Qaeda under the main man himself, Osama bin Laden. He was among the chief architects of 9/11. And after bin Laden was killed in 2011, al-Zawahiri took over as leader until his assassination in 2022. So, look, I'm not saying that lawns did 9/11 per se.
But they definitely, no pun intended, laid the groundwork for the hatred.
Yes.
Here's the thing. If you have a lawn, you're a terrorist. My words, not yours. Whoa. Dude.
Clearly,
that's like domino effects. I know. It's not.
Like, listen, clearly, just to be clear, this man's insane and he would have wanted to kill a lot of people and was looking for any justification to do it. We don't need to clarify that. Obviously, people know. But I do think it's interesting that he specifically states that Americans have an almost holy worship of their lawns. And he was like confounded by that in particular.
And it could be added for the long list of things that they hated us for anyway. So it's not necessarily, but.
Yes. No.
Like the phrase, lawns caused 9/11.
Who knows what terrible future terrorist attack is going to happen as a result of keeping your lawns.
Right. Maybe we should marginalize lawns at the airport. Have you ever thought about that?
Oh, yeah. Take them into the secret room. Bring out the rubber glove and feel them up.
Oh, horrible. Dude, I'm laughing. It's so horrible. Go on.
Anyway, so Americans can definitely use some constructive criticism about how important a lawn should be in regards to like overall spiritual health. Spiritual health. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, generally speaking, your lawns are stupid and they're wasteful and HOAs are the devil Everyone should die and probably will ultimately in the end. But like, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like them.
No.
I think it's like weird and voyeuristic and creepy, and like a backyard is fine. Like that's your own little private thing. But like the idea of like the exhibitionist part of it and the pressure for it, I think is like really, and considering I couldn't believe how much money is spent and how much water is spent and how many of the resources are spent and like the complete misuse and mismanagement of water and of chemicals and of gasoline. Like, it's just, I get the whole like, oh, we're Americans, you should be able to have whatever and like plot your plot of land, etc. and so on and so forth. But like, I don't know how you learn all of this and you're like, yeah, I definitely want a front lawn. Idiot.
Right. Also, like, if you want to be patriotic, then don't do it. How about that? Let's go that far. Let's go. We don't want to be like the British. Here's the thing is that you don't need one. I don't have a lawn. There's not a single blade of grass on my property.
I don't have a home.
Yeah, okay. And it's not even on the property that I rent. And I live in a neighborhood full of people with lawns that are very braggy about them and very always out there making them look good. They're boring. They're boring and they're a waste of space and time and water. And you just said this, but I'm going to say it all again, okay? HOAs are evil, and I almost did a tab on them 2 weeks ago. And I got so angry that I was like, not going to do a tab on HOAs because guess what? There's nothing to learn besides they're evil and they were rooted in racism from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. The very first HOA was in Pasadena, and it was whites only. So take from that what you will. But like, you don't need, like, get native plants. It's the best thing you can do. Take care of
everyone's mad about like being performative or like whatever online. The real threat are front lawns.
Seriously.
That's the performative bullshit that's literally destroying the environment and costing 100%. Billions of dollars.
Ugh. Man.
Anyway.
I hate lawns.
I don't like front lawns. I think a backyard's cool. I like a good backyard. Listen, this doesn't even matter. It's never going to apply to me because I'm never going to own a home anyway. But send this episode to a lawn if you know one.
If you have a lawn, just reconsider.
Build another house on top of it.
At least like taking it out and putting in native plants. Because actually, then you know what happens? A bunch of bees come to your house and butterflies. Our front yard has a bunch of monarchs in it now, and it's awesome.
I thought you said you hated monarchs, Anna. Wow. Now you're just hosting a bunch of kings on your front yard.
King Charles.
You're so obsessed with England. Ugh. Disgusting.
Great. Thank you for that tab.
That's my tab on lawns.
Me.
Yep.
But you know what was nice? I wake up every day with a huge internal bundle of unassigned rage, and you gave me something to assign it to today. So thank you.
Good. You could go around yelling at people with their lawns. Just be like, you're wasting how much gasoline did you spill? Was it the amount of the Exxon Valdez on your front yard because you didn't know how to use your leaf blower correctly or your lawnmower, idiot?
Do you want to get you a seal to club on your front lawn?
Why don't I just club a baby seal directly? Yeah, it's easier. It's more efficient. Thanks. Anytime anyone gives you shit about your front yard. Yeah, just tell them that.
Yeah.
It'd be like, oh, cool. You drive an electric car or like a hybrid. Guess what? Your lawn is basically undoing that times 10.
Right.
Eat shit.
Anyway. Yes. True Americans don't have lawns.
Real Americans don't have homes or property
True
or
Americans
anything.
Are deeply
in
problematic
debt
group
and
of
poor.
people. And none of us will ever own anything, let alone a lawn.
We don't have health care.
No. Nope. It's great.
Well, hello there, friends. If you're listening to this show, chances are high that you have a lot of open tabs. And whether it's pigeons, orangutans, or exploding whales, you're also probably somebody who cares deeply about animals. Which is why Hannah, Alyssa, and I couldn't believe today's sponsor, Tab for a Cause, actually exists, because they seem tailor-made for us and our tens of listeners. Tab for a Cause is a browser extension that displays a few ads in the corner of every new tab you open. And the revenue from those open tabs generates funds for their various charity partners. Charities like the Humane League, which doesn't just raise awareness, but also drives real institutional change for animals. Since 2007, their relentless advocacy has helped lift the percentage of cage-free hens in the U.S. from just 3% to over 45%. We here at 500 Open Tabs love animals, and as Hannah always points out, my stories are very often about animals where they shouldn't be. So, this very much warms my heart. As of July 2025, Tab for a Cause has raised over $1.9 million for charity. And your 500 Open Tabs could be making a huge difference for our fur-tabulous friends the minute you sign up. And the best part? It doesn't even cost anything. That's right. It's free 99. Just go to tabforanimals.org/opentabs to add the extension. And help spread the word by telling everyone you know. Probably not your animal friends, though, since they are unlikely to have access to the internet or understand proper any language, really. Again, go to tabforanimals.org/opentabs to add the extension and start saving the lives of our fur-tabulous friends today. Anyway,
YOLO.
Sorry to get all
Speaking
political.
of America, no. Speaking of America being insane, you ready for my tab?
Well, real quick, let's just give a quick shout out at our halfway point to remind everybody that we do have a Patreon. I'm sure there's going to be a couple of things that we pull out of here that will be exclusives that we'll put on there. If you want to hear more of us screaming about things that are probably funny to some people, I don't know. There's no music video in my tab this week for you to react to, unfortunately.
Weird.
But maybe I could just show you different pictures of lawns and you can react to them for 10 minutes and then people will be like, ha 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 ha, look at her get angry about that lawn.
Least favorite lawns. Yeah.
What's your least favorite lawn? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. Also, tell us how much you hate HOAs.
Yeah.
Because I love hearing it. Racist.
Awful.
Anyway, speaking of Patreon,
yes.
I do want to say hi to 4 new patrons that we got recently.
Oh, go for it.
We've got Paul. What's up, Paul? We got Lily. We've got Veronica, which I'm pretty sure is the Veronica that we met.
Our friend Veronica, yeah.
And we got Maeve, who has written in multiple times.
Hey,
so,
shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you.
You could be using that money on lawns, but instead you're using it to help us fund the Patreon. And we appreciate that because you're not only saving the environment, you're also saving your friends.
And exactly.
From themselves.
And I promise from a lot of things. We really deeply appreciate any financial help we can get. We deeply appreciate any financial support if you can give it. We do this podcast because we love it, but also it helps to never know how to say this. Just execute me.
Yep. It helps us execute Hannah. How
about this? If you want to throw money our way, we won't say no.
Yeah. Thank you. Thumbs up. Anyway, thank you for the ad break. But Hannah, what have you got for us this week? What's your tab about? Please don't tell me it's about how much you love lawns.
No, it's about something. It's about Oregon, actually.
Oh, right. Nice.
I chose to do a Portland-ish based tab to celebrate the fact that we are in Portland right now. And I had the
glad one of us did.
I know. Well, that was like with Chicago. I totally didn't. And then you did. So it worked.
Because we keep forgetting to discuss this in advance. And then we're like, oh, right. That's what
we don't talk. Just kidding. We talk every day. Okay. So I had a really hard time picking a character from Oregon history because Oregon is filled with insane people. Yeah. I knew that they were quirky, but like there's something in the water in Oregon
it's exploded whale bits.
It's the corpses of whales that explode on their beaches. Something is wrong. And by wrong, I mean right. So from socialist communes to underground thief rings to riverboat brothels, there was a guy who would just live in the forest naked to prove that he could. He was like a 1910s built Bear Grylls. There were mayors in legal battles with their own cities over land they stole. There's snake oil salesman, a guy who sold soap full of money and then tried to like get people to buy his soap, like a Willy Wonka, but for soap, and a huge, even bigger liar.
Soap full of money? Like there's just loose change inside of a soap bar?
I guess. Look up
That's
Soapy.
Weird.
Oh, I don't even remember his name, but his nickname was Soapy.
Joe.
Seriously, I was like, you're doing a soap racket in Oregon? All right. But people fell for it, and he was like the soap Willy Wonka. So I was even going to do that one, but I was like, too many people have covered it, so go find that. All of this intrigued me, right? And I got paralyzed by it, so I figured, what's the main through line of all of this? It's crime.
Oh, right.
Wild West crime at its purest concentration.
Yeah.
There is no watered down Wild West crime in Oregon. It's all just pure. So
legit.
Nobody better encapsulates the outlaw culture of the Wild West, and specifically Oregon in the 1800s, better than Bill Miner. All right? We got Billy Miner.
Billy Miner.
I'm going to send you a picture of Bill Miner because this guy.
The second son. To the Majors. So there was Bill Major, then Bill Minor, then Bill Major. It's a terrible musical theory joke. Cool. He looks like a guy with a hat and a mustache. There's nothing extraordinary about him.
Nothing. Except he was known by a lot of things, to the point where we don't really know his actual name, kind of. We might.
Bill Miner.
Or we might not. Well, that's what he went by. He was a pro at stagecoach holdups in the 1860s through 80s, mostly Wells Fargo bank stagecoaches.
Yeah.
He was
Eat
called
shit,
the gentle.
Wells Fargo.
Hell yeah. He was called the gentleman bandit due to his calm, kind voice as he robbed you. So he would thank you for your time. He'd say good day. He'd take your money and say, I hope you have a good evening. Goodbye.
Listen, manners will get you a long, long way, you guys. It's the basic decency that a lot of people don't have anymore.
He was genuinely super kind to everyone he robbed, which honestly threw them off more than it would have if he had a gun to their face.
Yeah.
They're like, what is this man so nice? He's so charming and nice. Oh, my money is gone.
Yeah.
He was seen as
he gave me a thank you card after he robbed me.
Well, sometimes he'd even be like, you know what? I'll give you some money back. Here you go. To make it feel like
sorry about that.
An exchange, a fair exchange.
I'm being generous after I've robbed you.
Look at me. I'm nice. He was seen as a kind of Robin Hood type character, stealing from corporations and giving to the poor, giving people jobs. He was a socialist, or he claimed he was, but he deeply enjoyed and loved indulging in the high life when he had extra money. That's
a misconception of socialist. Socialist doesn't mean that you don't like the finer things.
No.
It just means that people shouldn't be dying on the street. Yeah,
right. Everyone should have access to nice things.
That's all they're saying.
It's literally like, hey, we should all be able to live comfortably.
Everyone should enjoy a nice cigar.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be cool?
See, unlike him, I consider myself a socialist, but I love being garbage.
That's your version of like a nice cigar. Is trash. Eating dirt and what did you say earlier? Like Ziploc bags filled with melted
full of melted snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drink it. So he also refused to kill a man and claimed he had never done so. Sort of like a Gold Rush era Batman. Exactly. Yeah. He spent 33 of his 65 years on Earth behind bars with his longest. Yeah, that's what you get for not killing people. There's witnesses.
Yeah.
With his longest stint for 20 years in San Quentin.
Damn. In San Quentin.
Yeah, in the queue, as they called it.
Meaning he was in line to go?
No, they just call it the queue, but yeah, pretty much in line to die. No. He was all over the place and committed crimes as far away as Australia, allegedly, or maybe he didn't. He may have. He was said to be the originator of the phrase "hands up," because he would say, "Hands up, and not a hair on your head will be harmed."
Okay.
And he has the honor of being the very first person to successfully rob a train in Canada.
All right.
Yeah.
Pioneer.
He brought American degeneracy to Canada.
Listen, I bet you the Canadians loved how polite he was. They were just like,
they kind of do.
Then they were like, sorry.
He's so nice. Sorry. And he's like,
sorry,
sorry, I'm doing this to you.
Yeah.
You
and
guys
they're like,
lovely.
no, sorry, we got in your way.
No, you sorry.
I don't know what accent that is, but
please,
that's my horrible attempt at Canadian. Yes.
After you. But I'm not going to talk about the Canadian, the arguably more exciting Canadian train robbery. I'm going to talk about the lesser-known train robbery he attempted right outside Portland, Oregon in 1903. Before that, let's figure out who or what he is and where he comes from, or if he comes from anywhere, or if he was real. He was real. He was born Ezra Allen Miner, most likely in Michigan. Shout out.
All right, Michigan boy.
Or maybe
Where is he
Kentucky.
from in the hand? Okay.
I don't know. Maybe Kentucky, or maybe even Canada, but probably Michigan. He was one of 5 children, probably, of a father who was a miner, which fit his name.
Like I said, his siblings were all majors, so it's weird. That's too many notes. That's I don't like that time signature. That's too many people. Let's keep it a 4-4.
What, it's 1 foot 1 to 5? Makes no sense.
Too many chords.
His father, Joseph, left the family when Ezra was 10, and his mother moved them to Placer County, California. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
At least that's what records say, if those records are actually the correct ones, which they probably are. So okay. I'm giving you as much as I might know.
Great.
According to
sounds definite.
Yeah, it sounds like. Well, according to Bill Miner, he did not move to Placerville with his family. He ran away from home and changed his name to Bill from Ezra, and he wanted to be a cowboy. So
I was gonna say, was it after Buffalo Bill?
A little bit. He went. No, I don't know. I have no idea. He was, I think, a contemporary of Buffalo Bill.
Oh, like he was a kid at the same time?
Yeah, I don't know.
What year did you say he was born?
Oh, he was born in 1847.
Yeah, at that point he probably was a contemporary, right? No, yeah, he would have been too young.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I'm trying to remember when Buffalo Bill was born. No, that doesn't matter. Anyway.
What he's claimed is that he wanted to be a cowboy, and so he went where all cowboys go, San Diego. And he worked on a
steel horse I ride. I'm a cowboy in San Diego.
San Diego.
Nah.
He worked on a ranch as a quote unquote cow puncher and bull whacker. And
hold on, let me guess. I think a cow puncher is probably somebody who has to soften the meat. So they just give him boxing gloves and just go. So he beat the meat, is what you're saying. He was a professional meat beater.
He beat that meat. I didn't look it up because I liked imagining him just punching cows. So to this moment, I still don't know what
there,
it is.
Mr. Miner. Welcome to San Diego. This is your company issued boxing gloves. Sorry, it's still a little bit bloody from the previous guy, but it don't matter. It's the 1880s. We've never heard of washing your hands. Yeah, what you got here is a fine bovine. Yeah. You got a fine bovine who's about ready to come to steak. But what you're going to need you to do is go ahead and start here at the ribs, work your way down to the genitals, until finally you got to make your final knockout KO punch in the face. See you in 13 days. Well, we'll have some beans for you at the end.
He punched the cows faster than anyone. No, I don't know. I don't know what he did, but he was a cow puncher. He also claims that he won $100 from the infamous evil General George Wright, who was famous for terrorizing Native Americans, by riding untouched through Apache-infested lands to the Gila River in Arizona to deliver an important message to another general. But he probably didn't, because Apaches didn't live in California, and it would have been impossible to ride that far and then back in a day, which he claimed. Either way, whatever happened, he ended up delivering messages on horseback for people. And this is kind of where he started being like, oh, I like money. Money's pretty great. I love that people give me money.
Oh, I like money, though. Yeah. You like money, too? Oh, my God. This is getting scary. Anyway,
Haven't
that's the
seen.
Whole thing in that movie.
Someday I'll watch everything.
No, you won't.
Break by both my legs. I'll have to watch everything in the hospital.
Even then. No, you won't.
I know. I would just
like, I want to die. I can't. You'll just close your eyes out of spite.
That was another story I almost did from Oregon, where a murderer, he pretended to be in a coma for 2 years, like Buster Bluth.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
So he's a delivery pigeon.
He was a delivery pigeon. Yeah. And he was real fast. And that's when he was like, this money's awesome. But he loved making money, but not as much as he loved spending it, which then presented a problem because he couldn't make money as fast as he wanted to spend it. So he decided to start stealing.
Welcome to America, bro.
Yeah. And he was like, this is awesome. Look what I can do with this money. I can steal. So he starts quickly getting into a life of petty theft, recruiting other boys his age to steal horses with him, and soon moved up to stagecoach robbery, which he excelled at. Stagecoaches followed prescribed paths, so they were always in the same place. And it was just like they were like, we really got to invent trains. This is bad. In his 20s, he joined up with 2 other bandits named William Harrington and Alkali Jim. I don't know
Alkali Jim?
Alkali
That's an awesome
Jim.
name. Why is there not a water named Alkali Jim? I feel like that would sell very well.
I bet there is.
There's water with alkali in it. Jim put it there himself.
Oh, I wonder what his real name is. I didn't want to look it up because I just love the name Alkali Jim. Everyone has crazy names.
Everyone's just Jim and Bill.
Jim, Bill. Yeah, it's true. There's one guy here named Jim James or James James.
Wow, that guy was he didn't have coffee that morning. He was coming up with his name, yeah.
He's like, that would be Jim
AI
James.
generated, yeah, exactly. My name is Jim. I don't know.
Slim Jim. They held up trains and stole gold together. They even stole the boots off the driver of the train, Bill Cutler, but then gave them back because he felt
William
bad.
Cutler. Oh, okay.
He was like, sorry, I'll just take the gold. You can have your boots back.
You need your shoes, yeah. I walked a mile in these. Didn't feel good. I thought I should return them. Yeah.
But he didn't feel bad enough to not steal the $2,600 worth of gold from the guy's train. So
it's gold.
They were
you
caught.
Gotta steal it. Yeah.
I know. It was the gold rush. Literally, the gold rush was happening. They were caught, and he began his long life of being in and out of jail. This time, first time ever was San Quentin, and he served 9 years.
Damn.
And when he was released in 1880, he went to live with his sister in Colorado Springs. He tried to go straight, but apparently did not last long, could not handle it. And he was soon teaming up with the Pond brothers.
The Pond brothers?
Yeah. Stealing mail sacks from stagecoaches and scoring a bunch of money from them. So he's just opening letters.
No, all I heard was mail sacks. And then I was it took me a second to realize what you were talking about.
Nuts. They just kept stealing nuts, nut sacks, coin purses. So in one mail sack, they scored $4,000.
Somebody was just mailing $4,000?
Yeah. That back then
Idiots.
it was like, we don't know how to transfer money.
You know who would have never done that? Mark Twain.
Who? Oh, never.
Dude,
Mark Twain he was up and doing stuff, by the way. Anyway, so they got away with all that money and they ran and they're like, this is awesome. We got to change our names. So they changed their names to another form of like Bill or whatever.
Now he's Bill Major.
No, he's Bill Morgan.
No, he's Bill Lydian.
He is Bill.
I'm
going to move on. I'm not going to. They were caught and then they escaped again. And then the townspeople ended up catching the Pond brothers, lynching them, and tying them up in front of the jail to warn everybody not to do it. And so Bill Miner was like, thank goodness, phew, already on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Then he says he went to London, but he probably didn't. He also said he toured Europe and hung out with desert bandits in Turkey, but there's no record of that. He claims he went to Africa and almost held up a diamond train.
Hold on. Just for the sake of playing devil's advocate, what would have been the record that said that he hung out with, like, would you say desert rats in Turkey? Desert bandits?
Desert bandits. So a lot of times...
Would there have been an article written about it being like, oh, local man shows up to Turkey to hang out? Like, there's no like phone tracking them. Yeah.
The time frames are really slim. And so everything he says he did, the travel time, they figured out how long it would take to get there. And then all the ship logs, none of his aliases were on any of the ship logs.
Those ship logs are the big ones that
ship logs are big.
Went somewhere specifically. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, so I don't think they have any record of him going here. Doesn't mean he didn't, but
you can't
he
prove
did tell
an
a lot of
unprovable.
stories.
But yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, he was known to really tell a lot of stories because it was kind of what kept him mysterious. So he says he hung out in Turkey. He says he tried to rob a diamond train in Africa and then thought better of it when he saw how beefy the guards were. And he was like, oh, no way.
Look at all this soldiery showing up on this train.
Then he probably didn't go to South America, although he claims he did and was involved in gun running before getting homesick for the West and returning. So upon his return, of course, he immediately robbed a stagecoach and got caught. And he was captured after stealing $4,000 from Wells Fargo and sentenced to 25 years in San Quentin.
Damn.
We're gonna fast forward here because
Wells Fargo was like, that was money that we were going to claim on our taxes of new accounts that had been opened. It wasn't for you to steal.
It was for
a great corporation. Yeah, exactly. Look it up. It's the thing that they did.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, Wells Fargo is pure evil. Yeah.
Yep.
We're going to fast forward here because I want to get to the part about Portland and not talk about him being in jail, but I'm sure he had a jail experience. So let's fast forward from 1881 to 1901 when he was released after 20 years. He got out 5 years early.
That's a long time.
Still very polite, still very much himself. The world he was released into had changed drastically.
Yeah.
Nobody used stagecoaches anymore. The banks had upped their security by using armored train cars, and gun technology was super advanced with new styles of machine guns and pistols being readily available to anyone who wanted them. So he comes out and he's just like, everyone has cell phones. You know, one of those things where...
He's Brooks coming out, in Shawshank Redemption. He's just like, the world put itself in a damn hurry the whole time.
For real, though, he's like, what are these trains? I mean, I knew there were trains before, but look at these ones. They're fast and they're everywhere.
Also, now being a cowboy is not cool anymore.
It's not. Like, all those highway bandits were all dead, all of his old buddies, all of his old friends. And he comes out and he is like, this sucks. Yeah. Now what? At that point, he was in his mid-50s. And he was probably
so he became a stockbroker. He's like, how else do I steal money from people? I'll join Wells Fargo. I'll become a banker, become a professional theft.
If only. But this guy doesn't have the attention span for any of that. So he felt daunted by the passage of time and advancement of technology, like we all do every day.
Yeah, every day.
So he was like, I may as well just go straight. I'm going to go to Washington State and live with my sister. And so he does. And he gets work in the oyster beds, which... apparently, that's what people did.
Okay.
He did this for a couple of years, trying to become an honest man, so he says. Story goes, he could barely stand it. And making an honest living was an absolute torture for him.
I don't think that would be fun. That seems like one of the worst jobs you could have gotten, to be like an honest man. Just go smell and hang out with a bunch of smelly oysters all day.
Oysters?
That sounds terrible.
Crack them open? Ugh.
I don't think I could do that.
He found himself getting antsy and ready to rob again. And he was like, I got to do something. Then his friend from San Quentin that he met in jail, a counterfeiter by the name, are you ready?
Yeah.
By the name of Gay Harshman.
Gay Harshman.
Was living in Gobel, Oregon at the time, about 40 miles northwest of Portland, working at a sawmill. And Gay Harshman is like, buddy, I want to rob a train.
Yeah.
And it's how different could it be from stagecoaches besides in every
Easy.
way?
Yeah.
And Bill Miner was like, absolutely, exactly. Bill Miner was like, get me out of these oyster beds. I am going to rob a train.
He's like, I don't even care. I'll just go stand in front of it and have me run over. I'm so sick of these goddamn oysters.
Just kill me. I want to die robbing a train, not peeling open an oyster in the rainy Washington weather. Shucking it. Ew, that's true. That's what they're called, huh? They shuck oysters. Ugh. So Bill recruited a third man from his job, his oyster job, which may have been his first mistake.
Was it an oyster?
Nope. Somehow it was worse. It was a 16-year-old boy named Charles.
Listen, he was also robbing stuff when he was a kid, right? So why wouldn't he be like, you need a young guy with a good, strong, what does he say in Latin? He's like, a strong pair of legs and a good back. That's what you need. He's in his 50s. You kidding me?
He's in his 50s.
Also, to be clear, I'm 42 years old. I cannot tell the difference between a 16-year-old boy and a 26-year-old boy. They all look the same to me now.
They do look the same. Dude, same. I see children now. I'm like, are you 8 or are you a teenager? I can't tell. Yeah.
Or are you 30? I literally have no idea. Something happens to your brain where it just turns off and it can't tell anymore.
And that's why people who go after like 18-year-old girls don't make sense to me, because it's creepy. Anyway, so he sees this kid and he's like, I'll take you under my wing. Kid who works at the oyster farm. You're an orphan. That's always gone well for people.
I mean, this is heartfelt. This is like he's looking out. The guy needs a father figure. He hates oysters as well. He sees himself in this kid. I
think you're right. I think there was a mentorship aspect to it.
Yeah.
And he probably made friends with this kid at the oyster farm.
They're all, this shit sucks.
I hate this. Young or old, we all hate oyster shucking.
Yeah, he's like, there's hope for the young kids. This one kid at work hates oyster shucking. I feel like
as much as I do.
Humanity's going to continue on. We're going to be okay. The kids are all right.
I like your take on that. I think you're correct in that Charles, the kid, Hohen, was truly into it.
The kid, Chuck the kid.
Chuck the kid. Okay, we're calling him Chuck the Kid from now on.
Chucky the Kid. Sorry if he's going to be Billy
Chucky
the Kid. He's Chucky the Kid.
Chucky the Kid. And so he recruits Chucky the Kid, and they go down to Oregon together and begin working at the sawmill that this guy...
Sorry, they're already in Oregon, right?
So they were in Washington doing the...
Oh, I'm sorry. Washington. I got confused.
Yeah. And then they went down to... Gobel, Oregon, to work at a sawmill with their friend Gay, and they could
Goebbels. They go down to Goebbels, Oregon, with their friend Gay Sawmill. What's his name?
Named after Gay Sawmill. Yeah, Gay Sawmill and Chucky the Kid.
This is why I can't recognize children who are the difference between 16-year-olds and 26-year-olds. My brain just doesn't work.
It doesn't work at all.
Nope, never did.
So Gay and Chucky and Bill head down to Oregon. And they start working at this sawmill, and they plot. They're like, we're going to rob a train. Easy enough, right?
Just snacking on sawmill in between. Yeah, they're just throwing back round after round of dust.
Just eating dust, just drinking it up. inhaling it. Oh,
snorting it.
It's the Oregon way. Drinking sawdust.
Sawdust. Just be like, oh, I got this great idea. What if we went into a train and we totally took it down and we robbed it, but then we just left a bunch of oysters behind? That'll be like our calling card.
We get dysentery because we're in Oregon, right? That's what we get. We just do it all over the train.
We need a name. We need a name for our crew. What if we're the Shuck Boys? I don't know. What do you think? Is it a good one? Shuck it?
I don't know. Oyster Boys. We're the Oyster Boys.
Yeah.
And Gay is like, I've never been to the oyster farm, guys. Can you please focus? So the Oyster Boys are like, here we go. We're about to rob this train. And they plan to rob. Sorry, I'm just laughing at the Oyster Boys.
The Oyster Boys is great. Listen, what makes you think you could be part of the Oyster Boys, all right?
You want to be an oyster boy? You
gotta show your
with
work.
The oysters.
Yeah. You gotta shuck the next fella that comes in through these doors.
And you know what we mean by shuck.
Shuck it up.
Shuck off.
Go sit in the shuck chair until we're done making love with each other. Suddenly he's from New York, as always.
The shuck chair. I like that they're making love, though. That means the Oyster Boys are nothing but gentlemen in bed.
They're polite.
In the oyster bed.
No, it's an oyster-shaped bed that they make love in. That's how you have to be part of it. You can't just be an oyster boy.
You know those clam-shaped beds? Except it's like this misshapen, horrific-looking oyster bed with like salt water taste
made of
in
sawdust.
It.
Yeah.
Made of sawdust. The Oregon way. Okay. Whew, I've come undone.
Okay. Good.
I've come undone.
Oh, Lord, I've come undone.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You sound like a Southern belle.
Oh, yeah. Lord. You've undone. What does it say? Frank says, you've unzipped me.
You've unzipped
in the episode. The therapy episode. Anyway, so the Oyster Boys are like, September 19th. On September 19th, we're going to rob this train. We're going to go rob the Oregon Railroad and Navigation passenger train number 6. That's the one.
Great.
So immediately screw it up. Like,
of course,
right out the gate, are on the wrong side of the track. And their whole plan was to flag it down because that's how you get a train to stop, because they had manual people who would actually go flag things down. So they found a place to flag it down.
Okay.
The train did not stop, and they're like, "Oh, we're facing the wrong direction." And so they were like, "We may as well kind of like practice our escape while we're at it." And they realized their escape was to go and like hide in Portland, and they're like, "Portland is 20 miles away.
Yeah, that's far.
This is an insane escape, and we're not going to like go hide in the big city. What are we thinking?" So they have to like, "Okay, we're rethinking our plan. We have to figure out what the right side of the track is because we're idiots." And this 54-year-old is like, my knees, you know.
My knees are hurting.
Yeah, I invented the hands up thing. Come on, guys. I'm still relevant.
He's just riding on that forever, yeah.
So, yeah, total flubs. Train just went by. So it's hard to know the actual plan that they ended up securing. But according to Chuck, the kid, Chuck's job was to hide out in the bushes near Corbett Station, which was 20 miles east of Portland, and wave the train down. But in actuality, Chuck was probably tasked with being in charge of the getaway boat, because they were like, instead of running,
boat. Yeah, we're going to go into the middle of the ocean.
We're going to go up the Columbia River and escape to Washington. So Chucky was probably in charge of the getaway boat.
Is boat faster going up the river? I would assume you could just have a bunch of horses or something, no?
I think it's quieter. Because it was a rowboat, so you could row quietly up the river. A
rowboat?
Yeah, they had a rowboat. A 54-year-old man and his assistant, Gay, and Chucky the kid were going to row a bunch of money they stole from a train up a river.
Quickly going to turn into a Richard Parker situation, with Chucky the kid being the one who immediately dies and gets eaten.
Gets eaten. Well, Chucky later says, "Yeah, no, I was not involved at all. They made me do this." Yeah. So Charlie the kid was tasked with hanging out in the rowboat on the river in the getaway
drowned
boat.
by accident.
If he falls in and just gets tangled in some weeds.
Oh no! Oops!
No!
Yeah. Shit.
I'm only 16. So he hides out near the Columbia River while Bill and Gay would hide amidst the luggage car on the train, waiting to pop up and hold up the people there. So
this whole thing reminds me of the Simpsons episode where Homer has to take the final and Homer goes to college. And they're like, what are you going to do, Mr. Simpson? He's like, I'm just going to hide under some coats and then hope that everything works itself out magically. That's what this entire plan sounds like. Things will work themselves out.
Let's just say these two men who'd been in prison for 20 years and this 16-year-old boy had no idea how to rob a train.
Honestly, at least the train, super endearing. I love all of this. I would watch a movie about these three idiots. I'd be like, it's just like what we would do.
Yeah. And by the way, you have full permission to love Bill. He is never problematic.
Great.
I know sometimes you're like, why would you tell me?
Yeah, you led me astray. Yeah.
So they do this. They get in the luggage car and they're like, we're going to Charlie, hang out over by the milepost 21 near Corbett, the station. And that's just get ready. And so they're in the luggage car and they wait till the right moment. And Bill and Gay stood up and made their way toward the engine room where they pointed their revolvers at the engineer and fireman. And here's a quote from the engineer. He says, they ordered us to run the train to 21 milepost and stop at a light which would be found there. Engineer Ollie Barrett later recalled, the bandits told us that if we kept still and obeyed orders, neither of us would be harmed, and we did so. At 21 milepost, another masked man came out of the brush on the side of the road and joined us as the train stopped. So the guy who comes out of the brush was Charlie.
It's Chucky,
and the gang reunited, orders the two men to get back into the train. They're like, go back to the express car.
The gang robs a train is like It's Always Sunny episode is what this is.
This is 100% an Always Sunny episode, but with nicer people somehow. So they say, go to the express car and open it up. So the express car is like the armored-esque section of the train where there are like money clerks who are taking care of the money and the valuables. And it's very hard to get into. So they're like, go to the express car, open it up. Inside the express car were two clerks named Fred Corner and Solomon Glick, which are just the most
solid names.
Who were confused because they're like, why did the train stop? And being clerks in the express car, you have to wonder, are we getting held up?
Yep.
And they were right. They felt something was off. And so Fred Corner grabbed his sawed-off shotgun and waited. And in the next few minutes, the bandits, they couldn't get the other guys to open the door. So they're like, fine, we'll blow it up. So they have dynamite, of course. So they get dynamite out, lean it against the door, and just blast a hole into the door of this
This is literally what happens in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Skit. They do this.
Really?
They just blow up the side of a train at some point. It's one of the funniest cuts ever. But anyway, yeah.
This is what they're doing. And so they blow the train up and they're like, great, now we can walk in here and just take what we want. For some reason, even though we have witnesses, because again, Bill would refuse to kill anybody. And Gay was like, just let me kill them. And he's like, nope.
Just let me kill one. Just one person.
One person. And this is why he went to prison so much, because he was just like, no, I have morals. It's like
he went to prison because he didn't kill anyone. And they're like, this is America, first of all. You're not allowed. We can't have you be you didn't kill enough people. You're an embarrassment to this country.
Kill this man right now.
Do you even have a lawn? Yeah.
How big is your lawn?
Ew.
Wow.
Disgusting.
Lawn envy.
Wow. Lawn V.
Lawn V. So, but little did they know that within the explosion, Fred Corner was slowly coming out of the shadows with his sawed-off shotgun. And he points it straight at Gay Harshman's head and pulls the trigger.
Oh, no.
Buckshot. Don't worry. Insane that he lives. He lives. So Buckshot showers his head and Harshman goes down. And Charles the Kid and Bill immediately are like, nope, we're out. So they both book it, hop down out of the train.
Safety first. Nice.
Yes. And they're like, that guy's dead. We got to go. So they train and they're shooting into the night after them with his sawed-off shotgun, which is not a long-range weapon. And they leap into the boat and they start to paddle. And they quickly realize
I forgot.
They're in the rowboat. They're like, that didn't go as planned.
Row your boat gently down the stream.
As they hear screams and yells.
Yeah.
So they figured, like, okay, we can't be together. We have to split up. So they split up.
We can't be together. It's never going to work out. You're just 16, a 16-year-old boy. I'm a 54-year-old man. We'll always have the shuck chair, though. I wish you will wherever you go.
We'll always have the Oyster Boys. So the two remaining Oyster Boys split up.
The group is shucked.
So the Oyster Boys leave, and so they split up. But then Harshman doesn't die. He fully lives. He within a few days is like sitting up and talking.
He's and just of course waking up with like a bunch of birds like flying around his head with like cuckoo signs. He's like, whoa.
Whoa. Yeah, he gets shot in the head, but he lives. And even at the hospital, they were like, this guy's toast. Oh, wait, no, he's talking now. And he's pretty much rallies and gains consciousness, and he rats them both out because he's like, I don't want to go to prison. Because he didn't want to go to life.
Man.
That's harsh, man. And the Pinkerton Agency was hot on everyone's tracks after that.
Headed by Rivers Cuomo himself.
Rivers Cuomo and the Pinkerton Agency played guitars and whined. Yeah.
They're like, Rivers, we're here to find the thieves. Stop writing to your 14-year-old girlfriend in Japan.
Please, focus.
Stop. So it's weird.
Rivers Cuomo and the Pinkerton Agency were hot on the tracks of Chucky the Kid and Bill Miner. And Chucky the Kid was soon
Let's just take a sentence to absorb that whole sentence for a minute, because that was great. And the Oyster Boys, by the way. Thank you.
And the Oyster... Oh, yeah, sorry. Let me try it again. Rivers Cuomo and his Pinkerton Boys were hot on the tail of the remaining Oyster Boys. So Chucky the Kid... that should be his new band. Rivers Cuomo and the Oyster Boys.
Oyster Boys? That would be pretty cool.
Charlie the Kid was soon apprehended in his home of Equality Colony, Oregon.
What?
So
there's a place called Equality Colony?
So I looked it up, and it was a socialist colony of like people who wanted to turn the entire world socialist. So it was like this
a commune?
Mm-hmm. It was
what is the difference between a colony and a commune exactly? I've never looked into this.
I think a commune is like shared living space, and a colony is like a group of people with shared beliefs living in one area.
Okay.
I'm guessing, but
no, that seems right to me. That sounds right.
He grew up in this colony, and apparently like a lot of socialists would go in and out. Like there's some famous socialists who were involved in this. And at this point, it was very much waning. It was about to kind of collapse in a few years. And they arrest him. He's working on another sawmill or something. And he claimed he was forced into the whole thing and that he was just a dumb kid after all. And they were like, I don't. Yeah. That doesn't matter at that point.
Actually, he's not the minor. Bill Miner is the minor.
Bill
but
is.
He's the underage person.
Yeah. So the two youngest men get caught, and the 55-year-old man disappears. Bill Miner disappears. He says he went and bought himself a nice outfit. And
this is the first thing you got to do once you're done merrily rowboating up the stream into Washington.
Your escape boat.
I need a tuxedo. Sorry.
No, seriously, he's like, he's going to go into Portland and buy a nice outfit. And he tried to pretend he was like a rich man. And he says he went to Missouri and pretended to be a rich California gentleman. But we don't really know where he went.
I love that. I love that for him, though. That's great.
Me too. But then the next time we hear from him, he's in Canada robbing another train.
Oh.
So, and it's successful this time. He's learned from his mistakes.
Canadians are way more polite. That's why, yeah.
They're like, please, sir, blow the doors off of this car. Actually, I'll just open them for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, have extra money. So they found a bloody jacket of his at his sister's house that the Pinkerton agents had. That's all they had of him. And I went and read all the newspaper articles on their hunt and how they just did not. They finally figured out who it was, and they're like, we don't know where he is. So the Canadian train robbery, you guys should look that up. It's a whole other story, and we're not going to talk
Canadian
about that
train robbery.
It's just the first train robbery in Kamloops, Canada, in British Columbia. So go look that up. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm almost done. He went to Georgia after that because he got imprisoned in Canada, and then he escaped. And Canada was like, whatever, not our problem anymore.
It's fine.
He goes to Georgia and just robs trains down there. And
so he gets better at robbing trains, though, it sounds like.
He gets
That's
better
cool.
at
He
robbing
learns.
trains, yeah. Yep, he has a comeback. He's like, oh, no more stagecoaches?
He's all,
I gotta
step one,
prove myself.
don't escape in a rowboat. That's the first key.
Step two.
Know which direction the train's going.
Yeah, know which direction the train is going. No, he never kills somebody. He says he never kills anybody.
Good.
So he keeps getting arrested in Georgia, and the people in Georgia just love him. because those manners. They're like, he's so nice.
The South, man, it's a big deal. Southern manners are real important.
Women would bring him food in jail. They were swooning over him of all ages. Men respected him. He was a gentleman robber. And he was finally caught one last time. And he told a reporter with a laugh, I guess I'm just getting too old for this sort of thing. He spent the last couple years of his life gardening in prison while talking to a detective. Yep. While talking to a detective that he was friends with. He got to be friends with him, which I'd love to see a show or a movie about that.
Yeah.
And he told this detective his whole story.
It's too hot here in Georgia. Let me tell you a story about the time I met some Turkish, what was it? Desert bandits. Desert bandits in Turkey. We went to the Hagia Sophia and we looked around. I don't know what his voice is, but continue. Sorry, yes.
I'm going to assume it's that.
He talks like a Georgian.
He told this reporter everything, and embellished a lot, and still much of his character was preserved in these stories, and you can go find this interview.
I was going to say, is there a biography or something written, or like an autobiography?
There is, yeah. A lot of this I picked up from this website I found that is absolutely one of my new favorite websites called Offbeat Oregon. And Offbeat Oregon is awesome, and they pulled a lot from, the guy who wrote it is Finn J.D. John, and he lifts a lot of it from different biographies of this guy. And he spent the last couple of years, so at the end of it all, he had earned the title The Last of the Old Time Bandits. And did that job until the end. He had to just, that's what he lived for, robbing. And that's the story of the failed attempt at a train robbery in Portland, Oregon by the outlaw Bill Miner.
Bill Miner, salute. I too know what it's like to only know how to do one thing and not well, and then continuously get in trouble for it and never really succeed.
And never stop. Oyster Boys forever.
Boys. Thank you for that tab. That was fantastic.
Yeah. How should we close these tabs?
I think we need to blow it up like the way they blew up that, what was it called? The money truck train or whatever. The money car.
The express car. Yeah, should we blow it up with dynamite?
Absolutely, we should.
Okay. We're going to blow this up with dynamite.
You want to count it down?
Yes, I do. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Blast the doors off these tabs.
All right, moving on to listener emails.
Yeah, you are first.
Up is Maddie from Indiana. Hi, Hannah and Kaveh. Day one listener, first time writer inner. I heard your call, as in a first time that they're writing in.
I like that.
Yeah. I heard your call for more listener tabs, so I reopened a few to send you this. I hail from Northwest Indiana, which means we get Chicago TV stations. I wonder if you've heard about this already, but I thought I'd write in about the Max Headroom incident, a bizarre Chicago TV legend. Do you remember Max Headroom?
I do.
Yeah.
And I wasn't alive for it, but I remember reading stories about this.
One evening in 1987, the WGN Evening News Report segment was interrupted by 30 seconds of a man in a Max Headroom mask mugging for the camera. No audio was transmitted, but it was not a part of the scheduled broadcast and confused everyone. 2 hours later, the same hijacker is cut into an episode of Doctor Who on WTTW, the local PBS station. This time, the hijack lasted for 1 minute and 30 seconds and contained confusing, heavily distorted audio that made reference to a WGN newscaster, Pepsi, and the theme song to the 1950s cartoon Clutch Cargo. I'm not familiar with that one.
I'm surprised since you're 100.
It's true. That was a little after my time. I was already an old man into the 1950s. The pirates have never been caught. Signal hijacking is a federal crime and has no statute of limitations. So if anyone ever came forward, they could still face time in prison. Thanks for all the entertainment and keep it Nixon Josie toilet 5 times, Maddie. And then they included some links.
Thanks, Maddie. Max Headroom it's like a
Max Headroom.
Is a TV series, right? I can't remember.
I think it was there was interstitials. I don't remember actually what the full extent of it. I just remember the interstitials on MTV, I believe, is where it was. Was that
what it was? In between. Yeah. And he was like an AI, like a robot type of the guy.
Yeah.
But dressed like a guy who likes 80s new wave music. Thanks, Maddie.
Honestly, now if you just look at Max Headroom, he just looks like your sort of dollar bin
regular guy,
white nationalist with that haircut.
Oh, he does look like a white nationalist. Ooh. Okay, well,
thank you, Maddie.
Mine is from Ryan from Michigan. Shout out to Michigan. Same place as Sarah and Bill Miner. Sit my Hannah and Kave, which is hello in Welsh. Partially inspired by Hannah's Pride Month tabs, I have been rereading through various tabs of legends from World War II. The one that I find myself going back to again and again is a tab about a Finnish sniper from the Winter War between Finland and Russia. His name was Simo Häyhä. I think I looked it up and that's what it was. Or the White Death. So, by the way, Imo, you know, the guy who did a bunch of meth, the Finnish soldier who did a bunch of meth, he did that during the war that was right after the Winter War, called the Continuation War. Because I was like, are they in the same battles? They weren't, but they're very...
Interesting, because this tab is a continuation of that tab. Or that email. That was the listener email, wasn't it? I'm confused now. It's all blurred together.
Cool. Next thing I'm going to say. I don't know. Sorry. Similar, and just Finnish people are truly insane in World War II. So in 100 days of fighting, Simo shot and killed over 500 Red Army soldiers. Whoa. That's an average of 5 a day. He has been labeled as one of the deadliest snipers in history.
Nice.
He refused to use a scope, instead preferring iron sights because the reflection of the scope might give him away. 360 no scope. He also would chew snow to help hide his breath. My God,
just like you.
In the extreme
Did he have a Ziploc bag filled with it?
No. He doesn't know how to do a boutique snow selling business. So he would chew snow to help his breath stay cold and not so they wouldn't be able to see his breath in the winter temperatures. He was also a skilled cross-country skier, allowing him to move around the countryside quickly, repositioning frequently. 1 week before the end of the Winter War, he was shot in the face by an explosive bullet. You know, I chose this one because of the same way that gay Harshman
You're all
died.
about face explosions, yeah.
By an explosive bullet severely injuring him. Thinking he was dead, his body was placed with other corpses until someone noticed his foot was moving. He was moved to a Finnish hospital. He woke up on March 13th, the day peace was declared. He read about his own death in the newspaper and promptly wrote them a letter to correct the misunderstanding. He requested, but was denied, permission to return to the front during the Continuation War, which is where Imo was. He survived World War II and lived to the ripe old age of 96, passing away in 2002.
Holy shit.
He saw 9/11. Loving the podcast, still getting caught up on past episodes. Ryan from Michigan.
Thank you,
P.S.
Ryan.
I'm Klutz on Discord.
Klutz.
Hi. Speaking of Discord, hop on there. Link in notes.
If you
thanks
two
for
have
writing in, everybody. Oh,
yeah. No, go ahead. You do it.
If you also want to write in, we greatly appreciate that. You can do it at 500opentabs@gmail.com, 500, which is also the name you can follow us under on Instagram and Blue Sky.
Yes. Just a reminder, we're also on Patreon if you're able to help us with a little bit of scratch once a month. We're also on YouTube. If you haven't done so, please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube. Join the Discord, as we said. Thank you to Alyssa for everything.
Thank you, Alyssa.
Of course, don't forget, one last time reminder that if you're in the Oregon area, if you're in the Portland area, please come see us at Rose City Comic Con this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We are at table D01. Did I say that right? Was it D01? Yeah. Yep. Table D01 in Artist Alley. We'll have books, prints. I'll have mugs, pins. Hannah will have custom made magnets. I'll have commissions. I'll have drawings. I'll have originals. I'll have all kinds of things. But most importantly, we'll have good conversation. So please. Come see us. Don't just talk to us, though, because we need to pay rent. So if you can buy stuff,
help us pay rent. We also have some 500 Open Tabs themed stickers for you.
That's right.
Purchase. Throw me in the bog and another one.
Close all 500 Open Tabs, I believe. Is
that's right.
It's been a hot seller everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, Hannah, thank you for your tab. I know that you're bored of listening to this already, so let's go ahead and wrap it up because you're yawning. Thank you to Alyssa. Thank you, Hannah. I will see you in the Secundus Nixon toilet in the sky. Secundus.
I will see you at the shucking chair.
At the shuck chair with the oyster boys.
Yeah, I'll see you at the Secundus Nixon shuck chair with the oyster boys.
Secundus Nixon shuck chair in the sky.
Shuckgundus Nixon. Oh, great.
Bye.
Bye.